Hi everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks, and the new British double-barreled heavies are here, and over the last week I've been playing them a bunch of times to try and get my head wrapped around them, and today I'm going to be sharing my experiences with all of you live on YouTube. Firstly, we're going to be starting with the chopper. This is the tier 7 British double-barrel heavy, and is it a good start for the line? Well, at least it introduces you to the mechanics. This vehicle feels a lot like a T29 using the 90mm, I'd say, with relatively poor hull armor, although you can bait people quite well with the lower plate if you go like this, but you've got an annoying driver's hatch that's easy to pen. The turret armor from the side is really poor, but from the front, as long as they're not shooting like mid of your mantlet and down, it's actually not too bad. It's not too bad. It could be worse. What could be better, though, is getting into a nicer matchup than we have today. So, yeah, the matchmaker definitely hasn't been too kind to me as of late in my British doubles, but I'm hoping today it's going to change, right? It's gonna be the session of destiny, right? Okay, so your British doubles, where do you want to take them? Well, because they've got 10 degrees of gun depression, they're absolutely perfect for going into ridge line fights. They do pretty well in a hold down scenario, although they do have issues like I've outlined below. So the mechanic wise, how can you tell how many shells a British double has? Well, you can't tell what their reload progress is, but unlike the Soviet double barrel tanks, they can't fire until they can't fire a single shell unless they're fully loaded with both barrels. It's not possible, for example, to fire one barrel and then fire another barrel quickly after that. You have to wait for that barrel to reload before you can fire another one. So, for example, on this tank, it's going to be 6.76 seconds to be able to reload. However, I could switch modes and fire a double in this tank and then reload both barrels and fire a double. So it's interesting in a way, because these vehicles, they're not very good for a double then a single. But they're very good for a single, then a double, if that makes sense. Because if you fire a double and then a single, you'll have to do the full double reload, which on this tank is going to be about 13 seconds. Whereas if you were to fire if you fire a single, then a double, you'd fire one, reload 6.76, and then be able to get another 2 shells out, which would be absolutely nasty, right? So a big difference there. So do take that into account when you're considering what you should do. And I'm gonna use this EBR here. I'm gonna hopefully keep my turret a little bit over for the EBR. I'm gonna have the double, and I'm gonna slowly come up the ridge. I'm gonna get a double into the standard B, and then I'm gonna fall back. It's gonna be perfect, right? Hey, unfortunately, one of my shells didn't actually pen the standard B, and he went right through the top of my tank. But oh my word, that artillery just absolutely minced him. And yeah, for situations like this, these vehicles are brutal, absolutely brutal. I can come up, I've got perfect dispersion values. Boom, baby, 500 damage into a tier 9 medium. He is not very happy. I wouldn't be very happy if I was the standard B. And I just got to hope that my artillery is able to finish him off here. Because then I'll be able to probably do exactly the same thing to the Challenger. So yeah, as I clarified, these vehicles, they have no dispersion when you're moving, so you don't need to stop and aim. Ugh. I mean, you still need to aim at your opponents correctly, but you don't need to stop. They have 0.01 dispersion when moving and when turning the turret, which is why I use aiming devices on these tanks and vents, and I don't use vert stabs. Because inside this mode, as you can see, it doesn't matter if I do a full turret turn, it's fully aimed. Full turret turn, it's fully aimed. It's not accurate. It's not accurate, but it's fully aimed. And so that's why I like to have the vehicle set up to improve the accuracy of the vehicle. Hopefully we can find out where that Challenger is. We can't. We're going to have to drop back then. If you must play these vehicles in only single mode, well, firstly, I'd question why you are playing these vehicles, in all honesty. I think you'd do better in playing something like a T29 at tier 7, but maybe it's because you want to go up towards the top. I really hope artillery doesn't hit me there. That would have been a nightmare if he lands on my engine deck. But if you must only play these things in single mode, then I guess you might do well with vert stabs. But for me, the vents and the aiming device are still going to work in the single mode, right? Which is lovely in itself. I don't really feel safe going south here. I'm thinking about actually dropping all the way back or just letting the T-54 do his thing, and I'm going to snipe for him. And remember, I've got really good accuracy in this tank. The base accuracy of this vehicle is 0.36, and the vents and the aiming device on this vehicle will be doing roughly about 8%, as I don't have a firepower slot on this vehicle. Obviously, it was much better while I was playing it with a bounty aiming device. Oh, man, bounty gear, you know, on a fresh tank. What plus paid advantages. Alright, so the challenge is there. There's just an ISU 1222 who has a frag. I'm thinking about going and maybe hunting the mid, but I still think the ISU is going to be over here, and I'm waiting for the T-54 to get some spots. If the T-54 gets some spots, I can still be useful. Otherwise, I'm just an artillery shell away from reaching my demise. But yeah, look at this gun depression. Lovely. Is there anyone over here? ISU, maybe? Do you think there's an ISU there? If there is, I'm going to be ready for him. Oh, wow. I actually just flicked my Windows key like a complete donkey. I can't blame Wargaming for that. Although I'm not sure if any of you out there have the bug that I have, but I have a bug where sometimes my game just alt-tabs. It only does it once every few hours. I wonder if it's like Wargaming's launcher is throwing out like a push notification or something. Anyway, talking about push notification, how about I try and make a push on these people in towards the mid-ridge? And this should be lovely here, right? This should be absolutely lovely. We know where the ISU is. I'm going to go for the double here. Here's a little bit of a tip. If you fully aim before you enter the double, you'll be always fully aimed inside the double, if that makes sense, because the aim time is actually really long on these tanks. Oh, yeah. That's nice. So the aim time is actually really long inside the double. So if you're fully aimed before you enter the double mode, you'll be at peak performance, ready to go afterwards. Let's go. So yeah, this tank has 230 alpha damage. So with the doubles activated, it's actually pretty gnarly. Do you think this Udes is trying to sneak up behind me? He might be. Oh, I should probably leave for a single mode here because I'll be more accurate that way. Go. Oh no! Alright, he's using the little baby gun. Same gun as me, actually, funnily enough. So I'm going to go for a double in his turret. Nice. Someone finish him off, please. Yes! Good! Oh! Close game. I'll say thank you to the T-54. Maybe he'll give me a thumbs up back. Shall see if I can find this contender now on this side. Hello. Oh, yeah! So as you can see, as long as your reticle isn't bloomed out when you enter the double, if you're using like a vents and an aiming device build, the doubles are actually really nice in this vehicle. And I feel like that's where these tanks have to be played. Of course, I'm going to enter a single here just to finish off the Hori. No, I'm not. Thinking about going for doubles on the contender now. I think he's aiming for me. A little bit of a risk here. He's definitely thinking about it, isn't he? I'm going to switch to gold rounds here, even though my intuition switch is very long, because I feel like he's got some armor that could be able to contest me. He is a contender after all, right? Buddy, you look delicious. You've got lovely tier 9 XP for me. Oh, nice. This is going very well, boys and girls. This is going very well. And he's fired his double, which means I'm going to be able to double before he doubles. Double, double, double. Sound like I'm making a big burger right now. Whoa, let's go. Delicious. Delicious. A double, double. That's a lot of doubles. Did I just get away with 4 doubles in a row there? Or actually, I think there were more doubles before that. And really, this is where these tanks feel special, when you can actually use those doubles at below about 200 meters. Now, the double accuracy on this tank is 1.2. And it is on all of them, actually. Although, for some reason on Wargaming's website, they said that for the Canopener, it was going to be 1.3. But in my game, in my client, it's actually still saying 1.2. So unless that's like a display issue, I don't know. I don't know what's going on there with Wargaming. Maybe some quality assurance is going wrong right now with their micro patches and what actually goes into the client. But irrelevant if it's 1.2 or 1.3, it's really inaccurate. It's the most inaccurate gun in the game across all of them, right? So that's why you get such amazing value from the aiming device. It's why you get such amazing value as well from the vents on this tank to be able to improve that accuracy. And as I said, inside the double mode, you have horrendous aim time. But that... Oh, I should boost. I should totally boost today. Let's go for some big boy boosts. I need experience and field mods on all these tanks. That's why I said that as long as you're fully aimed from the single, it transitions into being fully aimed inside the double as well. And then you've got no dispersion, so no vert stabs doesn't matter. You can be fully accurate on the move. That was actually a really meaty game. I can't believe that's not an ace tanker. 1,531 is not an ace. That's how I like to start my session off here. Yeah, 5,600 combined is absolutely lovely. We're going to be boosting that as well. Did I just get all the field mods in like a single game? Yes. Yes, I did. Wow, that's really lucky. There's what, those 5 times. And look at my accuracy with this as well. It's getting 0.03 better just from that field mod, which would be 3%, right? And we'll take a little bit of view range here as well, just to be able to help out. And that's my chopper, min-maxed. Hooray. Good stuff. Nice. And as you can see, my crew are now up to 100%, which is lovely, so we can enable accelerated crew training. One of the worst things you can do is to retrain for gold. It's still in World of Tanks. Just activate a booster and get it done. All right, the next tank we're going to be playing is the Conceiver. This vehicle is... it's basically like the chopper, just with a slightly bigger gun. It's now got 280 alpha over 230, but the way that this thing's armor works, very, very different. This thing has a horrendous lower plate, and it has a horrendous weak point on top, but apart from that, it's actually very solid indeed. Meaning that this is the kind of vehicle that just wants to get to a ridgeline and use its gun depression to avoid getting hit in the weak point on top. And also, it's the kind of tank that if you can manage to hide your lower plate, and boys and girls, it's a big lower plate, right? If you can manage to hide your lower plate, this thing's actually a monster. I had a game on Lighthouse where I ended up in just a position where I thought, like, yeah, I'm doomed. This is awkward. Nine tanks out of 10 are going to just get melted in this position. But I just found, like, a rock to hide my lower plate, and I lasted for absolutely ages. I guess my opponents were missing that weak point on top, but you can always just raise the gun to still make it even more awkward for them. All right, so where am I going to take? I've actually got a durability build here, and I'm going to use it. I'm going to drop the turbo, and I'm going to use the durability build here. I'd like to clarify that by dropping the turbo, I'm actually going to be a lot slower in the double than otherwise I would be. One of the reasons why turbos are so great on these tanks is because when you enter the double mode, your top speed limit is 20 kilometers an hour. However, the way that the turbo works is it's like a raw, flat increase to the top speed of whatever mode that you're in. So this tank, which is limited to 34, with a regular turbo is going to go at 38, but inside the double mode, it's actually going to go at 24 because it's 20 plus 4 there, which is very, very strong. So that shows you that the turbo gets really good value on this tank. All right, we've got a Patriot who wants to drive out in front of me. We've got an M3Y towards the side. I'm going to advance here. I might tank one shot from this player. Maybe I can manage to actually get a shot on him as I'm going through. And this thing's actually pretty good for side scraping, especially in a matchup like this. So I'm going to side scrape and try and find his lower plate here. Oh, I nearly had it. There we go. Easy money. And one of the things that is absolutely incredible about this tank as well is its damage per minute is actually really scary. Unfortunately, as we can see, that weak point on top of the tank, not great. But we actually didn't manage to damage him with that shell. It's funny, I've got pretty much the same rate of fire as this guy right now. And I don't think he expects that, does he? Is he going to go for my weak point again? Nice. Absolutely farming up this recently buffed tech tree tank. With a tech tree tank. Lovely. I'm firing regular rounds. He's spamming gold. Beautiful. That's what I like to see. Okay. So this is a random tested map, so the alleyway on my left could get blocked at any time. I'm going to advance. Going to just have a quick look on my side to see whether this Blesk is nailable. Oh, no. I forgot about that. Oh, I think I've got to go for this Juto. I hope I don't get zinged in the right here. Hope I don't get shot by the Blesk in the bottom as well. That would be quite awkward, wouldn't it? I can actually go through this guy's turret most of the time. I'm going to intuition switch out. It will help me to be able to blam through his turret. Is somebody coming behind me? No, it's somebody above me. Would you believe it, actually? Kind of confusing, this map sometimes, right? Nice. Easy, 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 easy. Maybe I should have doubled there to finish him off. But he's over anyway. Okay, okay. I don't mean to interrupt you from joining your friend. Are you in a platoon together? No? The way that they acted, it felt like they were in a platoon together. What's this Blesk thinking about doing? Thinking about going to the garage soon, bruv. That's right. All right, I'm going to load regular rounds again and go after this M2Y. It was an M3Y I was fighting earlier. Yeah, it was. Okay, so I've got like 540 damage that I can deal. Tank on my left. This is the perfect opportunity for this vehicle. Enter that double. Blap him. Set him on fire. Watch him lose his fire extinguisher. And then get back to it. So that is just the perfect opportunity and where these British doubles are so great. Basically, they're really, really dangerous below about 100 to 200 meters. That's where they kind of specialize. Thinking about being aggressive here. Yeah, now that the VK's gone, I reckon this Cheeto's trying to shoot through this tiny little gap here. He's probably quite sneaky. Oh, maybe I can bait him with my plate there. Should have probably gone for the double there. But remember, one of the strengths is that I can go... Oh, is that an 87 behind me? Don't want that 87 getting me in the side. But maybe I can get him. Delicious. Easy money. And that's where this aiming device is actually pretty cool with the vents, right? Because you can have the extra accuracy inside the single mode as well. So we scared him off. This Cheeto is just letting his friends get absolutely farmed. The M2Y has gone somewhere else. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go here. I'm going to get in the double mode. I'm going to come around the corner. I'm a bit slow here, actually. That's bad. Even backwards. Okay. M2Y's got a good game going. Boom, baby! Fortunately, now I've got to do that awkward thing where I have to reload for the double here. As I was saying earlier, it'd been better if I'd fired a single into a double. Whoa, whoa, new knowledge unlocked! Oh my lord! Okay, look, I did a single, and now I can do a double as well. Perfect! And that's just where these things are so powerful. Oh my lord! So that was, rewind the YouTube video there, and it will highlight exactly what I was trying to suggest to everyone. And that is, double to single, not so good. But a single to a double, however, very good. Oh, look at that reticle pineapple. That's, again, rewind the video there and it will show exactly what I was talking about. You want to be kind of like fully aimed before you go into the double mode on this tank. If you're fully aimed before you go into the double mode on this tank, your double will be as accurate as it can be, so 1.2. So in that kind of a situation, what you want to do is you want to basically, instead of do this and then enter the double and then look how it's like pineapple reticle and it takes ages for it to aim in. What will actually be faster is if I'm moving around here, if I actually stop outside of the single and wait, and then I enter the double as it's entering in, then I max damage there. And you can also account for the extra 2 seconds. So don't be stupid and do like a full turret turn like this, and then have your double. It's going to be horrendous. What you want to do is you want to have like, you want to be aiming in the single mode and then enter the double to have that accurate impact. So, great result here. We did like 4,300. I probably could have got a little bit more. I ended up with a few too many hit points. But yeah, it was a GG. This one, I'll be honest, I don't really like tier 8. Tier 8 matchmaking feels awful for me. I'm quite often having to deal with 9s and 10s, but you know what? When you've got like a top tier matchup against 8s and 7s, yeah, this thing can clap. We're going to boost this one as well, get some more XP in there. That's going to be another field mod. What field mod are we going to take here? Well, clearly we're going to take view range to try and help out the poor view range that these vehicles have. That's the Conceiver. Basically, hide the lower plate, try and use the gun depression to hide the weak point on top, and then try to overpower your opponents with really good damage per minute. This vehicle has like as much damage per minute as most tier 8s do when they use a gun rammer. So just have a free extra equipment slot for something else to be able to invest on the tank. All right, cool. That was the Conceiver. Now we're going to be jumping up and playing in the Contender. So the Contender is just a bigger version of the previous tank. These vehicles are just getting bigger and better as we go up. The Contender's an absolute brute, actually, because it has 390 alpha damage, which is a massive step up. You've gone from 230 alpha to 280 alpha to 390 alpha. So, yeah, the Contender is definitely not something that you want to take doubles from. It's going to be doing the same kind of damage as the IS-32. And that's what this tank kind of reminds me of. And that's a very good thing. I love my IS-32. I think the IS-32 is one of the best vehicles at tier 9. And the Contender feels good as well. So once again, I'm going to drop the turbo and I'm going to use a durability device. Those are the two builds that I'm going to use. Durability device for when I want to be brawling, and a turbo for when I want to have a little bit of mobility to be able to chase down. But once again, remember, I'm going to be slow. Another thing I really like about this vehicle, and it's something that you lose when you go to the can opener, is look how angled the side armor is on this vehicle. The armor on this tank is 90 at the side, which is very healthy. But if I try and show you, Can I show you? Can I show you here? Yeah, it's more apparent here. I can't pause the video because I am playing live, unfortunately. So yeah, you see how it's angled in like this? What this means is that you can over-angle the side armor, and you can be able to like you can angle the side armor like this, and they'll shoot your track and they'll ricochet off because of the fact that the armor bows out like this, like on a Centurion. So it's a tremendous advantage for baiting opponents. And this is something you can't do with the Canopener. So that means the Contender's actually really good for side-scraping and really good for surprising its opponents. Okay, so there's an ELC going up on the hill, but I'm really worried about getting zinged in the turret on the left. Once I see there's no one there, I turn my turret to the right, because then the next angle will be here. And then I want to try and get into a position where, unfortunately, ELC spots me. I'll try and go for a shot on this ELC. It's going to be very hard to hit this shot. Oh. Never mind. Uncle Scrubs has his eye locked in today. And then want to just try and... Oh, that's 122 TM. Looks delicious. Hopefully I can over-angle him. Oh, there's a chopper on my side. I'll get a shot in there. I reckon that chopper will come for a double. Will he come back for a double? He got a taste. You want a double, mate? You want a double? You want to double a tank that's 2 tiers high? Are these two in a platoon together? They are. Good stuff. I like it. Nice platoon play. I'm actually going to go for singles here on this guy. Interesting. You know what I want to do is actually want to go along the inside. They don't seem to have many people on the other side. So I feel like... do I really want to go over there and go hold down? There's not really too much of a position. Oh, no. I see what I want to do. That is get this AMX. I don't think the double would be the right play here. Oh, that chopper. Why is he not doubling me? He should be doubling me. Wow, there's quite a few tanks going up that way. I'm going to just drop off. I wonder if the chopper comes back around the corner. He can't resist, can he? And he just lost all of his good plays. Lost all of his good plays. Can I shoot the Shelmer through that gap? Oh, man. They're all trying to get me from over here. They might come back for some more. I'm really worried about the fact that there's an AMX over there. I think he'll kill the TVP unless I help. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to turn around and I'm going to go and make sure that AMX doesn't get my TVP friend. Even though that TVP blocked me at the beginning of the battle, we are in it to win it. Oh, AMX should be able to kill him unless I do. Okay, good. All right. That's that handled. You can see how this... Oh, no, I've done the whole big screen the whole time. Sorry about that. It's like I'm streaming. I'm terrible. 1,800 damage. It's very... It adds up in this tank is what I'm trying to suggest. Oh, hello, Tiger 2. Probably could have doubled there. But honestly, if I can just get like a clean single in, probably better than waiting. Clean singles. Clean singles. I think I can take my time here. I'm not going to go and side scrape that corner anymore. I think there's probably a Steyr or a T103 over there. I just don't want to risk it with the Tiger 2 and the 45 TP. I can take my time. I feel like we're gaining advantages across the map. Just the way I feel. I might be right, might be wrong. Is this 45 TP going to try and come out after me? Or am I going to go after him? Don't really want to get caught out in the side here. Ooh, look at that. Actually spotting him around that corner. Looks like it's just the chopper there now. I'd be surprised if it was anything more than just the chopper. I think I'm going to surprise this chopper. Make sure I'm fully aimed. I'm going to wait for him to come around the corner and then give him a good blap. Oh, somebody's found me. Oh, I found them. Who found who there? Well, to be fair, he found me. He bounced off me, and I didn't bounce off him. I'm punishing for 800 there, you know? Okay, this game's starting to snowball away from the enemy team. That chopper really coming after me again? Well, he actually doubled me. He got his revenge. All right, mate. All right, mate. Oh, wow, the T103's at the back. That's a disaster. That's a real big disaster for me. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to spot him with my horrible view range right now. Hopefully the 1390 can go. Can the 1390 go up round the back? Awkward. I'm hoping still that I can spot the T-103. I can't advance down this alleyway. Should I go after the Conqueror right now? He's sitting hull down. There's no point in me going after there for him. Have to wait for these 75. Have to tell my T-103 was there. The T-103 was there. That 1390. Oh, there he is. He's actually changed positions. That's good. Alright, let's see if I can get a bit of revenge on him. Revenge is a dish best served cold, right? Okay, we put a single in. Should we go for a double on the 45 TP now? Bum, bum, bada bum, bum, bada bum. Oh, this is pretty ugly. Should probably finish off the Tiger too. We've only got 10 seconds left on the game though. What was that? Why are they capping? I mean, they probably just want to win. Sometimes wins in World of Tanks can feel like that, right? Hopefully somebody gets a kill and then I can kill the Tiger too. There was a kill, so I should be able to get the kill. What? Where was the 1390 to get that frag? He managed it though. Well played. All right, we did 4,000 damage. I could have probably played a little bit better here, but hopefully you could see that even with my imperfect plays, the damage on these tanks add up, especially with those doubles. And again, just like with the Soviet double tanks, if you dictate the combat, it goes well. Nice, we got a high caliber medal there, and I got my first mark of excellence on the Contender. Hooray, hooray for me. Do I get another field mod? No, not quite. But yeah, always nice to have your first mark of excellence before you got a field mod. I grinded this thing from stock. Let me clarify. I did have 5 times experience games for sure. So I'm quite happy with my statistics on this tank. You know, like 3,500 combined and 71% wins in my 55 games. Playing that from stock, I know that that damage will be going up if I continue to play consistently. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are now going to be jumping up to tier 10 and playing in the Canopener. So the Canopener is just basically bigger, better version of the previous tanks. This tech tree actually flows really well, and so accordingly, if you absolutely hate the tier 7, and then you hate the tier 8, and then you hate the tier 9, I really don't think you're probably going to like the tier 10 all of that much, because all of the kinds of ways that those vehicles play do evolve into the playstyle that you're going to have to master if you want to do well in the tier 10. The difference is that the tier 10 just has very good armor, I'd say, whereas the tier 8 and the tier 9 have huge weak points on top of the turrets. This vehicle does not. The thing I will say, however, is that the side of this armor is completely flat. And so I prefer the tier 9. If someone said to me, QB, you've got to go and get the best win ratio that you possibly can, I think I would get a better win ratio in the tier 9 than I would in the tier 10. I think the tier 9 is better tier for tier than the tier 10 tank is. I'm not sure everybody will be agreeing with me, maybe now, but maybe when they take into account their angled side armor, they might start to feel it. The Canopener, now it's got like 120 millimeter with 420 damage, meaning that you can do 840 with a single salvo. It's got good gold, not great gold, but good gold. Decent pen on its standard. The vehicle's not particularly slow, but it's the same speed as all of its previous vehicles. But the real strength of this tank is the turret. If you use any of its gun depression, its weak point is not exposed, and it will be chomping through its opponents. That's for sure. Absolutely chomping through its opponents. The only real problem with the tank is that it has a driver's hatch on the upper hull, but your opponents need like about 270 pen to have a 50-50 chance of going through it, so it's a weak point, but only a weak point to gold rounds for like tier 9 and tier 10 tanks, so yeah, good luck tier 8s. So the Canopener from that regard is just this absolute monster on a ridge that pretty much has no issues. One thing I will mention is that if you do catch the side of the weak point, then it is pretty weak. I think you only need about like 230 pen to be able to go through from that angle. So definitely take advantage of that. So what are we going to do here? We want to get forward on the ridge, see what this Concept 1B is doing, see if the enemies are going to defend. If they're not going to defend, I could just go sit and be hull down. But I think what my preferred play of doing is actually to go along the inside. I'm going to let the Concept do his thing, and I'm going to take a bit of a risk here that I see that there's no light tanks on the enemy team, and I'm going to try and like make my way towards this position. And if I can make my way over here using these trees to conceal me as I make my way across, I should be okay. But there's also a chance that I get spotted. If I do, the Gonkovica and the Hori 1 and the Tortoise are going to farm me. But if they don't, and I can manage to snake my way over, I can probably go through the water very soon. I'm going to be in a forward hold-down position, and this is going to be absolutely lovely, as long as, of course, the Concept still does his thing and holds that position there. Okay, so big, tall tank. Let's try and get the job done against our opponents. There's an arty. I don't like arties very much. I'm going to switch out to an HE shell, see if I can catch him. Oh, that's a shame. I'm going to switch back to an AP shell here. I wonder if the UDES has really thought this through. I don't think he has. That seems like an easy broadside. And that's really the kind of the opportunities that you got to get, right? We just basically punished him for 850. It's absolutely crazy. And now we can go back for the singles when he's thinking like he's safe. And then hopefully finish him off right through the side here. Boom, baby. And now we've got a double that we could release very quickly indeed. Flamethrowers on top of the tanks. World of Tanks 2025. That's what the game is all about these days, right? So we've got a UDES at the back. Thinking about going after this bat chat. Should I go after this bat chat? Maybe. The artillery at the back. I could go and dunk the BZ. This is what my team really needs me to do right now, is to go and dunk this guy. I might lose all my health for this, though. I might lose all of my health for this. But this is what my team needs me to do. I'm a good team player. I lost 800 hit points for that. I think it's a good trade for getting my team into the game. Now my Concept can advance. And when my Concept advances, we should be in a much better position to win this. Team player, baby. Let's load some gold here for this Tortoise. I'll need it for the long-range shells. Hopefully the Tortoise starts to panic as he takes some damage. And usually when they panic, they lose even more hit points immediately afterwards. Can't get that RT. M60 actually came across. My shell goes into the dirt. Don't like losing gold shells to the dirt. All right, this is interesting right now because that Concept lost a tremendous amount of hit points, probably to the BZ-58 too. I think I'm going to have to swing across. I think they're going to win the town, but we do have some big boy TDs who might be able to kind of like hold them back. So I think I'm going to go and try and get some better angles. Ooh, there's an STB-1. Is he a good angle right now for me? Or is this a bait right now for me? I think it's a bait. I think it's a bait. I think it's a bait. I think it's a bait, boys. All right, they're actually going to push that Concept. I did not expect that, but maybe the Type 68 will help him. Are they in a platoon? They're not. There's a Tortoise back there. Bat chat over there. We're actually down by 5,000 hit points. I said that we were going to lose the town. Now that Concept and the Type's getting wiped out, oh, this is starting to look really ugly. And now, I do wish that I wasn't in a gigantic, big, fat, flappy tank, if that makes sense. I really wish I wasn't in a big, gigantic, flappy tank with a fairly mediocre side turret. But in this situation, mate, you know what I am? I'm a mother-buzzing can opener. I'm going to open you up, Tortoise. You're like the perfect kind of can tank, aren't you? M60 trying to go after me. I'm just going to keep nailing this guy here. And that's about as big of a farm as you can have, really. I could even aim at his weak point on top here and have to expose myself a little less. Wow. That's why I prefer to shoot. If I've got enough pen, I prefer to shoot that big flat part here. Because I feel like the weak point, obviously it's better if I don't have to expose so much of myself, but it's still like really awkward to try and deal with. So blue flames coming off my tank, beautiful. STB-1 in the corner, IS-4 advancing. Oh, the UDES. Oh, it's a pixel snipe, my man. Why'd you have to do that to me, bruv? Okay, we're gonna hopefully track this guy up on the ridge. Okay, I saved my G-Saw. You're welcome, my friend. Appreciate you. Let's win this game together now, my man. Oh my god, if this guy gets me right now. Oh my lord, he went right through the front of my turret because I was on the downslope. Oh no, not like this, boys and girls, not like this. I really needed those hit points to win this game. What's this M60 doing? What's this IS-4 doing? What's the T10 doing? Is the STB-1 going to go hold down against me in the side? He could do. What's this IS-4 up to right now? Oh, what a lovely shot that was. I'm still terrified about the STB-1 right now. Terrified about the STB-1. Yeah, I'm very worried about where that STB-1 could be. But can they handle the IS-4 before? I think they should be able to, right? I think the STB1's going to push or not. I would push if I was him. I'd push the whole down leopard. Are those guys going to be able to kill the IS-4 without me? We've got two arties. Two arties. They should get him in 10 seconds. I can't believe that pixel snipe by the UDES and then the pixel on my turret by the IS-4. I needed those 900 hit points. Oh well, artillery's not doing very well right now. Okay, the T-10's not good though. Ooh, looking like a comeback. Ooh, Artie's in the corner. SPG's in the corner. We've got to go get rid of that Artie, right guys? We've got to go get rid of that Artie. Got to go get rid of that Artie. Wow. Come on, man. I could have had... If I win this, I'll have had 4 good games in a row, which is unprecedented for Uncle QuickyBaby playing live for YouTube. That doesn't happen. I usually lose. Like, if you watched all of my national videos last week, I lost every single game, including like me doing 7,000 damage in a blooming Super Conqueror, right? Oh yeah, let's go. Obviously, I'm just getting lucky now with the double barrels. Oh man, the STB1's on our arty. We've got to go after him. Let's go after him. We've got to go after the STB1 first. Get STB1 first! So yeah, so basically my top tips for British doubles, if anyone's planning to go for them, I would play all of them. I don't think you should skip any of them, honestly. If you're going to go for the doubles, just go for the doubles. Honestly, I wouldn't skip. I would just go straight for the doubles, starting from tier 7. You've got to play them all. Alright, I've got to ask this leopard for help.
Support my position.
The longer we leave this game, the worse it's going to get. The longer we leave this game, the worse it's going to get. Like, that guy could be doubling back to go and help the other leopard. What do I do? Do I push right now? I think I've got to go after the UDES then. He's actually so low, I should probably HE to catch him here. I don't think the STB1 will be going after me. Alright, I guess we're going to get this guy first. So yeah, I would recommend playing all of them. Start at tier 7. The tier 7's half good, and it will also teach you how to start to play around with the doubles. Next thing advice I'd like to give you all, is that while you can choose what equipment you want to use to match your playstyle, I would thoroughly recommend trying out the Vents Turbo aiming device. As you can see in this game, I actually only used the double twice. Once against the Ho Reefer and Opportunity, and once against the BZ-75. So maybe with the Canopener, it seems to play a lot more in the single mode than I often get with the doubles. The other vehicles, I felt like I doubled a lot more, especially the tier 7. The tier 7 feels like it gets a lot more doubles. Oh, here we go. Ah, fully aimed shot, pretty much. It's a bit of a shame. He'll know where I am now. Guess I'll just go right across the middle of the map. Bit scary here if he chases down that leopard. That leopard is our hit points. Yeah, my other tips are, yeah, while you should go for what equipment you want to use, I really do think that focusing on the accuracy of these vehicles so you can use the doubles accurately are what allows you to snowball. These tanks are very, 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 very strong if you can play them as tanks that have 800 alpha. This tank especially, it's got 2,500 base damage per minute. So the way that I look at it for this vehicle is it's basically like another high alpha damage heavy that just has a free equipment slot. So yeah. So, oh my lord, Leopard, please don't turn this into a Kolobanov's medal right now. Please don't turn this into a Kolobanov's medal. Wow, he's so lucky that STB1 low rolled. He's Amaraked, isn't he? And he's tracked behind. This is getting very scary right now. This is getting very scary just to say, oh cool, the Leopard shot him once, that's nice. Now I don't need to fire a double or anything. Artie missed. This STB1 has to go fight this Leopard. If he doesn't fight him, that's actually really bad for him. Hello. Sorry, mate. Not today. GG. The blue flames go off at the end of the game. So yeah, the way that I look at these tanks is that if you can make the doubles work, if this vehicle, for example, had the same accuracy in the double as the single, they would be the most broken tanks in the entire game because alpha damage is amazing. And you'd basically be like an ST2, but just having no preparation time, which would allow you to snipe really accurately at long range. Wow, well played to this leopard. 6,000 damage. GG. The thing that keeps them balanced is that horrendous accuracy in the double. So by improving that, I've got mine down to 0.91. Look, 0.91 is still really bad, but it's kind of like hitting the KV2. So as long as you have like a really big target or you're firing in close quarters combat, it doesn't matter. And then having the 840 alpha damage, yeah, it can mean a big deal on these tanks. And if you want to see more gameplay of these, then stay tuned to the channel, as I will be putting up some, should we say, more highlight games rather than just giving you this raw gameplay. Although, you know what, man, averaging like 5,100 combined and getting two and a quarter kills a game from tier 7 to tier 10 with tier 8.5 average, yeah, I'll take that to the bank. So my final word, I think that all 4 of these vehicles are playable. I think that there might be a little bit more hype around the Canopener than is possibly deserved, but I still understand that this vehicle truly is toxic from a sitting in a hold down position kind of playstyle. For the Chopper, Conceiver, and Contender, I don't really see too much problem with those vehicles, as they do have big weak points on top when they aren't using their gun depression. But all still, I think it's a good line. I think Wargaming did a really good job with making them actually fun while still making them reasonably balanced. And while I'd say they are the kind of tank that will reward a player who is more experienced and knows how to use the nitty-gritty mechanics inside World of Tanks, I think that everybody can still have some fun with the new British doubles. And let's say they're a hell of a lot better than the Japanese heavies were when they were first introduced, right up until they were just buffed last week. Anyway, ladies and gents, boys and girls, that was me playing all of the new British doubles live for YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. And let me know what you think about the British doubles in the comments down below. And the final thing that I want to mention is that starting tomorrow at 6 o'clock UK time, that's 7 o'clock in most European countries, Wargaming are bringing back a black market event. So if you are a tank collector, be there. I have no idea how expensive or what anything is going to cost. So I hope you saved up some currencies from Christmas.